Hi, I'm Anna and welcome back again for another tutorial in After Effects. Today's tutorial is going to be like a baptism of fire. We are going to try some different things and, they're not difficult, but they're time consuming and tricky, and in my opinion, they're a little bit hit and miss sometimes. But when they do work, they work wonderfully. So so this is what we'll be creating, what you can see behind here, or in front, because it's actually behind me. um, so we'll be covering, I've just written some stuff down here, some masks, some pre-composing, colour correction, and replacing footage. Now, I imagine it's going to be a fairly lengthy tutorial, so I may have to cut it in half or split it in two so you're not poking your eyeballs out in boredom. So okay, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is get our water file and create a new composition. So this is what I've done, just to refer to, but we're going to do it all again. So grab the water and drag it in, and we're going to create a new composition. So that's what the water looks like originally. So what we're going to do now is add the 3D camera tracker. So put in here camera tracker and drag that into here. So what this is doing, it's analyzing all the movement in this video, in this clip. So this process, it tells you up here the progress. If you look here, time remaining 3 minutes. So we're not going to sit here and watch it for 3 minutes. Well, I will, but you won't. So I'll fast forward that when I'm editing the video. Okay, so now it's finished doing its analysis, and it has presented us with a series of little crosses here. Now I'll enlarge it. Okay, so we can see these crosses, and then what looks like a target appears, and that's a plane that it uses as a reference point. So and as the movement changes, so do the crosses. So what we need to do, we will actually be removing this background, or the top part, and putting in a new sky and a new island. So I want to choose a point somewhere around here. Let's say this one here. So that's the bit that I want it to track. I'll bring it to the front and get to the beginning. And I'm going to right click on it and say create null and camera. So now it's created a null. Now a null is an object that you can't see in After Effects, but it uses the parameters of it follows a set of instructions, I guess. So we're going to attach the island that we're going to be putting in to this null object. It's it's probably a bit complicated to explain, but it works. Okay, so that's all I can sort of say at this point. So okay, so now we've established our point here. Now I may just do another one. So let's right click here again and it says create null. So now we've got our second null. So what we actually need to do is remove this top bit. So the way we do that is by using a mask. So we grab our favorite tool, the pen tool, and we make sure that our layer is selected and we create a mask. Right, so now we have just the water. Now, there's a slight problem here which can be quite easily overcome. As our video moves, it starts to reveal parts of the bits that we don't want. Right, so what we need to do is actually animate this mask to correspond with the movements. So what we do, we open up our mask, our water layer, press mask, and then pop a keyframe on mask path. Now scrub through, say, a second at a time. And as you see that top part starting to emerge, bring the mask down. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through this. Where's the point? Here and here and a little bit here. It doesn't have to be exact, but it's good to have it within a certain parameter. So this is what I meant about fiddly and time consuming. But I think the end result is worth it because I quite like that scene. And we may have to bring it up a little bit here. Should have some music playing in the background. Okay, so what we've done now, we've animated the mask to move up and down in accordance. So basically it continues to hide that island. So what we can do, we can actually feather that a little bit just to soften those edges. So let's say 16. Now it may require a bit more later on, we don't know, but let's just see how this goes. So the next bit now is we need to bring in our island. So we shall bring that in and put it, hang on, let's grab it and put it in above the null, number 1. So let's position that, but we actually need to put it behind the water. So let's choose number 1, null number 1 and the island and bring it behind. So the other thing we need to do here for this to work is to convert the island into what they call a 3D layer, and that's by clicking this little icon here. Now if you don't have it, sorry, press, see this toggle switches modes button, press that, and that toggles the switches, of course. So let's just convert that into a 3D. It doesn't appear to do anything at the moment, but we need to do that. So let's enlarge it and bring it up a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. So we can see now that the null object that we created earlier is guiding the movement of this island to make it look like we're actually moving away from it. So I'm just going to move this island down a little bit because it appears to be lifting off the scene. So yeah, that works well. So the next thing now, what we need to do is bring in our sky. So our sky is actually a video that I have downloaded from Video Blocks. However, later on, as part of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can replace the sky purely by just a flick of a switch or a click of a button. So let's just put in this these clouds. Now again, because they're furthest away, they need to be at the back. So there they are. We just need to transform it a little bit. Probably just bring it up, swash it up a little bit. So, all right. Now, but because we've not converted this yet to a 3D, it's not moving in the following the camera tracker. So what we need to do is actually convert this one as well to a 3D layer by pressing this cube icon. So let's see now how this works out. So now we can see the sky is moving. However, it's actually moving off screen. So we need to enlarge that. So we can stretch it out. And let's see now how this looks. So I think this is looking okay at the moment. One thing, that island just insists on moving up, so I will bring it down again. So let's choose this island and you can come back down again. Right, so hopefully that now it should stay there, hopefully. So this is looking pretty okay. It's lacking something, and when I was doing this I thought it needed some color correction, which we will go through and show you how to achieve this. There are numerous ways of doing color corrections in After Effects, and the one that I've chosen to demonstrate is called Colorama. So we didn't actually need to use that second null object, so I will delete that now so it doesn't confuse. So let's see if that's changed anything. No, so I think we're right to delete that. All right, so now we will add some color correction, and we will do that by creating first off an adjustment layer. So right click, new adjustment layer. And here in the effects and presets, type COLORAMA. Now bring that in to the adjustment layer. And all of a sudden we see this wow, you know, but that's not what it will end up as. So what we do here is the output cycle. We're going to have that as ramp blue. So that has given us a really artificially rich color, which but we'll work with it. So let's reduce the blend with original and see what that gives us. Okay, and this is where I like to play with the blending modes. Now let's see what multiply brings us. Probably a bit too dark. Overlay, yeah, that's possible. Soft light, maybe. Hard light, perhaps. Now, what have I used in my previous one? I've actually used overlay. So let's go back and we'll try overlay again. Oh, I know what I also did. I actually reduced the hue and saturation. So type in here hue, bring that across into the adjustment layer. And let's bring down the saturation a little bit. How's that looking? Looking probably better, I'd say, or worse, I don't know, but it certainly looks different. But that it's one of the adjustments using, as we said, the color correction and using Colorama. There is a lot. It's really worth exploring Colorama and remembering to always try different blending modes. That is what gives you a final really good result. Because just don't accept it on face value that this is what it is and then move on to something else. Always try changing things, altering things. Don't be frightened to just experiment. So that's looking okay. I might actually reduce the saturation on the actual mountain or the island. So let's bring in the hue saturation on that and bring the saturation down a little bit. So that's not affecting the rest of the clip, it's just affecting the island. So how's that? Yeah, okay, let's go with that for the moment and see. But let's look at it how it was before the adjustment layer, before the Colorama. That. Then this. So that's automatically given it a really dramatic feel, which is what we wanted to achieve.